Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Dead Men Tell No Tales, Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I am Tessa. I am your DM this evening. It is so wonderful to see you all. Thank you for being so patient with us last week as we had a bit of a mishap and had a leaky ship and couldn't quite get launched for last week, but we are back and we are very happy to see you all here in chat. A few quick announcements before we get started. As always, we want to thank our amazing sponsors, Die Hard Dice and World Anvil, for being the fantastic folks that they are. World Anvil is the most comprehensive campaign management and world building software on the internet today. We know because Logan and we have now tried them all, and we can say without a doubt, in our opinions, World Anvil is the absolute best. You should definitely go check them out, whether you are an author, someone who just enjoys creating new and exciting worlds, or a DM or a player in a campaign. There is something there for everyone. You can use all of the free features to do a basic world building, but go ahead and become a guild member and get access to even more amazing features. Currently, there are now 400,000 people actively using World Anvil. It is an incredible community and an incredible software. We cannot recommend it enough. And then really quickly, we will talk about Die Hard Dice. Die Hard Dice is an amazing purveyor of metal and polymer dice. They are coming out with new colorways all of the time, and they're just too awesome to name. I want them all the time. Very nice crackers. Thank you for sharing those beauties off. There's just something about them. They have great weight to them. Their colorways are fantastic, and they are designed completely in-house. They are fantastic, and their customer service cannot be beat. So by all means, you should go and check out dieharddice.com for all of your dice needs. Lastly, on the subject of Die Hard Dice, this show will be getting a code soon where you can get 15% off of an order from Die Hard Dice. But in the meantime, you can go ahead and listen to any one of our other Nerdsmith shows. They all have their own codes. And I think our code is coming hopefully by next week. So if you are interested in that, let us know and we'll make sure you get a code for 15% off your first or next order from Die Hard Dice. Alrighty. How is everybody doing? Was it a good week?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Well, let's do a quick recap and then we'll go ahead and jump in. Who would like to go ahead and be our recap?
I have the notes up already, so I can do it.
All right. Thank you, Heather.
Okay, so we started off with Gellin Primewater, who's one of the council members, was throwing a big party to celebrate the fact that they found silver in the mines. And everyone in town was invited. Didn't matter who you were, anyone could go. So we all, of course, were attending. There were some grumbles in town about, the people who don't want the silver found. The traditionalists were grumbling a little bit about the fact that it was found and what's going to happen to Saltmarsh. Whereas the people, the loyalists who want the silver were very, very excited. So there were a few grumbles here and there around town, but nothing super, super hostile, other than one time somebody mentioned, maybe if the silver goes missing before it gets there, we won't have to worry about it. So that's a little iffy. Beyond that, the party was very, very busy, very beautiful, very elaborate and fancy. We all got dressed up and went there and hung out. Crackers overheard some interesting gossip because people assumed he was just a parrot, which is a bad assumption on their part. And he found out that there was talk of some lost shipments and, how did it disappear? How did the cargo disappear? Possibly the sea princes coming back into the area. So there was a lot of talk of that, as well as the concern that the newly found silver may draw the sea princes to come back, which of course is not what anyone wants. And then, let's see, the other big thing that happened at the party is that Gwillin was offered a job by one of the people who works for Gellin Primewater. Her name is Feliza. She's the cook. She pulled Gwillin aside and asked her and her family to look into a fishing boat and crew that had gone missing because the cargo was several hundred black pearls. So they were hoping to find the cargo and the crew. It was last seen off Crabber Cove, and they wanted it dealt with discreetly and preferably without the monarch finding out about the pearls in particular. And she let Gwilyn keep a pearl as down payment. We discussed where to meet up to set out in the morning to start looking into the missing people, and decided to meet at Motley's pub. Motley is an adorable little Modron, and she runs the pub and is very friendly and sweet and makes very good ale. I think it was ale. We met there and then went and talked with Gerard the Hermit to find out what he knew about the hut. He said he'd been inside. It was an old alchemist's building, and he heard a lot of strange sounds that terrified him. Supposedly an alchemist worked there and made gold from various metals and died roughly 70 years ago. He thinks it's the angry spirits looking for the alchemist's gold that are in the house, making it haunted. Local stories say that the alchemist just disappeared one day. No one knows where. And since then, people have looked for his supposedly hidden treasure. There's said to be voices and loud moaning coming out of the building, so everyone assumes it's haunted. We headed over there and started exploring. We got attacked by a couple of giant snakes that were living by the well in the front yard, and then headed into the building and started looking around. We went into one of the rooms off to the side and discovered a trap door that led down into some sort of cellar or basement, maybe. We went down there and found a bunch of beds with footlockers at the ends and large tables with stools around it and a cook stove. And there was a person there making food who tried to run, but we caught him and knocked him out. And then as we were tying him up, we found a hidden door in the wall. And we also found Fortune, in particular, leaned against a wall and found another secret door besides the one we had already found. And that was where we left off.
Indeed. You have 2 secret doors to explore. Which way you're going to go, I'm not sure. There's other doors, too, that you can explore. I'm sure it'll be a fascinating decision which way you decide to go. All right. And so with that recap, we will go ahead and move on into tonight's episode. Let's set sail, shall we? Alrighty. And we are back. Okay, so currently you have all left off standing in the basement of this creepy house. On the map, which my players can see, sorry audience, you are standing, Fortune is standing in the lower left corner, and you just saw the other person disappear up through here. The door that has danger written on it is down here. Where would you like to go?
I would like to go home. I believe I am still frightened.
Oh no, crackers! Sorry,
Someone
I had
actually.
Go ahead.
I am forgetting. Did someone actually go through the door, or was that the person they were trying to go through? I don't remember.
The
Yeah.
person who went to the door to the north was fleeing you. No one has actually gone through. No one has gone into either room. Thank you to my invisible, unseen servant who magicked me a soda. A very good unseen servant.
Indeed. So which door is the one that he was trying to go through? It's this one?
This is the one that he disappeared through. It's actually right here. This is the one he
Okay.
was originally trying, and then decided to just flee.
Okay, and we came in on the left over here. Is that right?
You came in down this set of stairs right here.
Okay. Coral's still tying him up to the table.
Alrighty. So in this room, among everything else, you can also see by the table some rolls of cloth that have been stowed down here.
I'm gonna kind of take a note of where the door that I just found was, and kind of I'm gonna look at the rolls of fabric, just to sort of make sure that we don't leave anything like potentially dangerous that's gonna follow us here before we move on.
No worries. I'm going to give a quick recap of what this room looks like for the audience, because I realize that some people may be joining us for the first time and did not hear what the room looks like last time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. So this chamber is a very long rectangular chamber. There are several beds along the southern wall. There appears to be a cooking area on the northern wall, with a stove, a small table, a big cook pot, and in the middle a table with several chairs surrounding it. There's a bit of a mess as you enter the room from the stairs coming down into the space. There are several rolls of cloth and other odds and ends stacked by the stairs. Off on the wall to the east, as you're heading down the stairs, there is a big sign that says danger across it, as well as another door directly to the left of that one that seems to go to a locked room that you have not yet explored. The secret wall they found is right next to the cooktop, and the other secret wall they found is to the left of the beds along the westernmost wall. You can tell that it was at one time just a large cellar, but it's definitely been converted into living quarters by now.
Jeffrey's going to go over to the door that has danger written on it and put her ear up to it and listen. See if she hears anything.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
That is 20.
All right. You don't hear anything stirring beyond that door.
It's quiet on the other end.
Maybe
that's
too quiet.
Maybe too quiet.
That's probably good news.
We didn't hear
Maybe.
the ruckus of trying to open the door, or some sort of magic that keep them quiet.
Or they're listening too. Quiet's not always a good thing.
True
Yeah.
enough.
Is there a doorknob?
There is a doorknob.
Is it locked? I check it.
It does not appear to be locked.
I'm going to go through this. Is that okay?
Sure.
I go through it.
We've got to pick a door.
Glenn
at some-
follows.
Alrighty.
Slowly, I turn the knob and begin to pull it, peeking in, my little gnomish form looking in.
Alright. So as you enter, the light from the chamber that you were just in begins to spill through the door. And you notice that this chamber is small, maybe 12 feet across or so. The corners seem to be filled with shadow still, though. As you try to enter, it's very hard to see through them. And what little you do see is fairly dingy and dirty.
You said there's torches on the walls?
Yes, there are torches on the walls.
Okay. Coral grabs one and pushes it forward towards Jaffer. Do you need some light in there?
I mean, I can see, kinda, technically. But sure, thank you. And she'll take the torch and, it's lit, right?
Yes, all of the torches in the front room where it was grabbed from are lit.
Okay, I take it and I throw it in the room.
All right. As the flaming torch hits the center of the room, it illuminates a hunched corpse wearing a pointed hat and dressed in a robe embroidered with arcane and mystic symbols. There are thin wisps of beard still floating from its bony jaw. And as the light illuminates it, its dead eyes look up towards you, and it extends a bony finger. And in a hoarse voice, it says, "Secrets found and lost again. Your paltry minds cannot fathom them." And rises. I would like you to roll initiative, please.
Undead wizard.
Oh no.
This is maybe not a good idea if the rest of you could just in here.
Who would like to be my initiative tracker?
I got it.
Alrighty. You can give your bony friend a 13.
21.
6.
7.
19.
Okay, I'm pulling mine up right now.
For those of you who are amusing in chat about the music choice at the moment, this used to be the theme song for Heather's show, Geek Thyself. It has
This is true.
since been updated.
Okay, and I got a 14. Okay, what was Gwilyn's? 6.
Heather, thank you for being my initiative monkey. I do appreciate it greatly.
No worries. And I'm sorry, Jay, what was Fortune's again? Was it a 7?
7.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yes, I counted right. So, Jaffer's up first, then Crackers, then Coral, then Boney, then Fortune, and then Gwilyn.
Alright, Jaffer, what do you do? Is this skeletal alchemist type person rises up and faces you?
I raise up, or I go into behind me and I pull an arrow and I pull up my short bow and I shoot it.
Alrighty, give me your shot.
11.
That hits. It is not wearing armor.
Makes sense.
8 points of piercing damage.
Alrighty.
And then I run away.
That is probably a good choice. Crackers.
I steel myself. Sweet Bellon, protect me, and I shall cast heroism on myself.
Excellent. And what is it that heroism does for our audience?
It provides me with 2 temporary hit points, and also prevents me from being frightened for the next moment. So I am no longer frightened. My bravery is restored.
Excellent. Alrighty, Coral.
Okay. I'm going to reach my hand out towards the wizard and go, it's time for you to go back to sleep, and cast Bane. So I need a charisma save. And hopefully
Alrighty.
roll low. So my stats aren't great yet.
Charisma?
Yes.
Oh, I have a -1 in charisma, so that makes my 16 a 15.
Ugh, that still beats the save though. So you
Oh.
are not baned, unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
So it doesn't do anything. It's okay. We are low level. This happens. All right. That's an action. So all right. She's going to glance over at Fortune since he goes next. And I'm going to use my last bardic inspiration. I apologize for this ahead of time because this is the first thing that pops in my head when I think of Fortune. That tiefling's kung fu fighting. Okay, that's enough. So you get bardic inspiration, which I haven't done in forever, is a d6. So you can add a d6 to your ability check, attack roll, or a saving throw within the next 10 minutes.
Alrighty. The skeletal creation reaches into its robes and pulls out what seems like a glowing green jar and hurls one at Jaffer and sizing up the other two, one at Gwilyn. Let's see here. It's an 8 to hit Jaffer. I'm going to assume an 8 doesn't hit.
Nope.
And a 15 to hit Gwilyn.
Just.
Does it hit?
No, it just hits.
Okay. So the globe that goes sailing by Jaffer explodes on the ground with a hiss and a pop as acid begins to seep into the floor. However, the one that is aimed at Gwilyn does hit her, and your clothing and skin burns slightly as you take 5 points of acid damage from this attack. I thought I was fooled. Gold from nothing. I'll show them all. Fortune.
All right. I'm going to run in and I'm going to draw my short sword.
Okay.
And I'm gonna attack him with sort of slice
Alrighty.
at his arm.
Slice away.
16 to hit.
Definitely hits.
8 damage.
Alrighty. He stumbles for a second in his lurching forward, but begins to press on. Gwilyn.
I'm gonna
Sorry.
flurry of blows too. Sorry.
All right, go ahead. Gwilyn, you are on
Thank-
deck still.
Kick at him twice.
All right.
I also forgot because of my school for bardic inspiration, you have the option to use combat inspiration and add the die to your damage. It says to a weapon damage roll or when an attack roll is made against the creature.
I am a weapon, so that's
Yes, so you
great.
can add it to your flurry of blows if you'd like.
I got 11 another 16 and 13 for the second.
Both hit.
$12 damage between the two attack.
Okay, and this is bludgeoning damage, right? Because it's your fists.
Yeah.
And Jeff, did you do bludgeoning damage as well, or what? Yours was piercing
Piercing.
from an arrow? Okay, all right.
The first one was for me was slashing, and then the second two were bludgeon.
All right, as your fists connect with this jaw, the skeleton crumbles as his head pops backwards, clattering to the ground. As his robes fall where he stands, you can see around his neck a stone hung on a chain, as well as one of his ribs where it's laying completely gold. Just beyond, now that he's fallen, you can see the entrance into another room.
Well, let's say we find the alchemist.
Yes, not as scary as
Nah, it's a bit of a nuisance to my wardrobe, but I'll live.
Are you feeling all right? Do you need some healing?
Nah, I'm alright. Thanks, though.
I shall fly over and examine that amulet.
Alrighty. It appears that there are several things on this skeleton that could be of use. There is a large sack of some sort tied around its waist. It seems to be just a plain sack, but something about it catches your eye. The amulet seems to be shimmering a little bit. Some way. It seems perhaps it's magical.
If it has anything magical on it, I can look at it if you want me to. Just putting it out there.
Yes, Jaffers, if you wouldn't mind, have a look at this amulet here, and I shall pull open this pouch. Yeah. What do I find inside?
Well, it's funny because you don't see anything inside of it.
I peck around on the inside.
Are you thinking of anything when you peck around inside, hunting for something?
I'm expecting there to be something invisible inside.
You don't feel anything.
Well, it's just an empty bag.
Oh,
I somehow doubt that. Here, let me have a look at it.
How much time do you want to spend here? Because it takes me about 10 minutes to really look at this kind of stuff. Per item.
it would be good to examine it before we walk off with it to make
Take a
sure
breather
that,
then.
to make sure that we
Relax,
don't
I'll
become
take care
like
of it.
him. Yes.
Sure.
plan.
Just, keep watch for me, huh?
Will do.
All right.
So you're gonna walk over and look at this stone, Jaffer?
Yeah. I'm going to pull out a jeweler's loop and begin to ritual cast identify on these
Okay.
items.
Alrighty. I'm just
So
double
10 minutes
checking
go
something.
by, and I look at the amulet first.
Alright, this amulet, when you look at it, it's a just flat gray and black river stone. It's got a little bit of a sparkle to it. It's inscribed with an unknown arcane symbol on it. And it feels cool when you first touch it. When you are looking over it, you get the sensation that were you to attune to it, you could gain advantage on one feat of that you were attempting, maybe using your dexterity or strength. Something would give you a little bit of luck, perhaps, when using it.
Okay, put it in my pocket.
Okay. Are you planning on attuning to it?
Not yet.
Okay.
There's you said that was it that there was a golden rib? Is that what you said?
There is a golden rib as well, and the sack.
Does the golden rib seem magical?
It does not seem magical. It just seems like it would be worth money were you to pry it off of this skeleton.
I look at Fortune.
Yeah.
Would you mind snapping this rib off?
Sure.
If you could do it, you can keep it.
Okay. I'm gonna try to pull it off.
I mean, you're not going to need to make a roll for it. It's a skeleton. It's a very old skeleton. It snaps out pretty quick and easy.
I wanted to try to mess with the bag while Jaffer was casting Identify.
Sure.
Like
you would have had time.
Like, reach in, and I just assumed there would be gold in there, so reach in to try to like just scoop the gold.
It's interesting that you mentioned that you assumed that there would be gold inside, because as you reach your hand in, the first thing that comes to you is not what you would expect. It's rounded, a little bigger than you would expected, and you pull out a human-sized skull entirely made of gold.
Now there's a keepsake for the shelf.
I'm going to assume that this was just very well crafted. And so put it back.
You feel more objects around your hand trying to come into your hand at the same time as you think of gold. Do you get the idea there's more gold inside, perhaps?
You know. There's a lot of gold in here, but I don't think it's the kind that I want. It's not coins.
Do you reach back in for more?
I'm kind of thinking of like turning it upside down to try to like shake stuff out.
All right, you can turn it upside down.
Yeah, try to like shake whatever out.
So as you turn it upside down, not only do a set of 5 small discs of varying weights fall out, but a rose and an apple, all made of solid gold, also come out of the bag. And a book.
Huh.
Is the book also solid gold?
The book is not solid gold. The book is titled Ye Secret of Ye Philosopher's Stone.
I shall open the book and look at page 1.
As you look into it, you can understand it kind of. It's written in common, but whatever it's trying to convey is incredibly odd. This book might be worth something to the right purchaser, perhaps a hefty sum even, but what you can gather is it seems to be instructions for the creation of a philosopher's stone, and then describes how the object can be used to convert objects into solid gold. But the exact hows and whys are a little bit beyond your understanding.
This is remarkable. Like, it would seem that the crazy old man was successful. He actually made a philosopher's stone.
Okay.
Do I know what that is?
I don't know. Maybe it's the stone you just put in your pocket.
Huh.
Huh.
What exactly is a philosopher's stone?
It can turn pretty much anything into gold.
Oh, that would explain the skull then.
The rose.
And the rose and the apple.
Maybe it's just.
You estimate that between the skull, apple, and rose, you get about 30 gold for them.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, it's not like he's using them anymore.
Well put.
No.
That's true. We might as well keep them. They're ours now.
You know, if someone's willing to buy it, where it came from doesn't really matter, does it?
Not really.
That's true. As long as it doesn't have some heat to it. Mm-hmm.
That's true to a point.
I mean, is there any like signatures on it? That's what would be the heat, if you will.
They seem to be perfectly... If this is a work of craftsmanship, it's uncanny. There's no markings, no tool markings at all anywhere on the 3 objects. No signature. They're pure solid gold.
Coral's gonna take the wizard's hat, unless it's like really rotten and gross, because she thinks her gran would get a kick out of it.
You can absolutely take the wizard's hat. What all are you going to take? You still have the room that was appeared when he dropped as well to explore if you want.
Let's just put everything back in the bag for now.
And take the bag.
And take the bag. Yes, of course, take the bag.
Alrighty.
Sounds like a plan. Now the question is, do we want to go through the door, or do we want to go back?
I assume that was the danger. Probably.
Was it the only one?
Well, that's the question.
Can't find out unless we go.
True.
Trevor goes into the room.
Well, that's decided then. Let's go.
Can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs.
Alrighty. So you guys are
Long as
going
they're not
into the
eggs.
next room?
Yeah.
Right. As you enter the room, you see a clutter of broken glass and earthenware shattered on the floor. There's 3 small copper pots laying amid the debris. There's a bench that runs down the side of the west wall of what seems to be a laboratory. On the bench, there are different jars of powders and liquids, several pieces of chemical apparatuses, and then there's a table along the south wall forming an L shape with the bench. There is a book open on the table. Also on the table is a candlestick with a tiny stump of an unlit candle and a variety of other items that, even in the dim light, shine with the warmth of more gold. doesn't seem to be anything else in this room.
Let's check out the table then.
Yeah. Who picked up the sack? Who's carrying it around?
That's a good question.
Bueller?
I would assume it would be Fortune because Fortune had it.
Yeah, unless someone else is really insistent on taking it, yeah, I'd probably still have it.
Okay. Just double checking.
Thank you. Let me make a note. Alrighty, so you guys enter the room, I'm assuming? It doesn't seem to be any skeletons or anything in here, just whatever is on that table along with the various apparatus.
Let's check out the table then.
As you get closer to the table, you can see that there is a small stack of gold coins and another book that seems to be a spell book of some sort.
I want to pick up the spell book and flip through it a little.
All right. You see a spell for dancing lights, comprehend languages, tensors floating discs, and shatter.
I'm proficient with alchemist supplies. Do I get any sense of like, any kind of ingredients in here that I might find useful?
Yes, all of the chemical apparatus you think would fetch about 20 gold pieces total if you sold them.
And how much gold is it?
47 gold pieces.
Should try and split that.
Should I make it 45 gold pieces and make it a little easier on you all?
That'd be a little easier.
Alright, 45 gold pieces.
Well, that's easy to divide. Anything good in that book?
There's a few spells. They're not spells I know, so that's interesting. Crackers, do you want to take a look?
I shall peruse, of course. Let me light this candle first, and I shall use my tinderbox to light a match and light the candle.
Alright.
And then I shall peruse the spell.
You light the candle and the room explodes. I'm kidding. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. The room is filled with a warm light, and you are free to peruse the spellbook. Finding the same spells.
You said dancing lights, tensors, floating disc, and shatter?
Yes.
This may be of some value to a wizard.
That's what I was thinking. Neither of us really does our spells this way, but we might be able to find someone that wants it.
That'd be good to keep as well. You never know. I might dabble.
Indeed.
Yeah. Are there any wizards around that you know of? I don't think I know any.
No.
I mean, not in this room, obviously.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know of any in Saltmarsh, but I don't necessarily know everyone's abilities, backwards and forwards.
I feel like if there's a wizard, you know they're a wizard because they've got the book.
They usually make it known they're really full
Yeah.
of themselves, from what I've seen.
All right, that's fair.
Alright, so you have acquired some more loot. Where do you put it? Do you put it in the bag, or do you carry it on you?
Gwilyn's carrying her part of the gold on her and hands out the rest to them to do with
Yeah,
as they.
Jacka takes her share.
Yeah.
Puts it in her pouch.
Coral has shoved the hat, and now she shoves the book into her bag.
Alright.
Yeah, but the gold, just with my gold,
Where are you heading next? There is the as you exit the laboratory through the chamber that you found the alchemist in, there is a door immediately to your right. A little bit further beyond that, also to your right, is the door that you saw the gentleman run out of. And then all the way to the end of the larger chamber on the left is the secret door that Fortune found. Is there a specific way that you would like to go?
Well, clearly, since he wanted to go through that door, there must be some help in that direction for him.
Okay.
So do we want to go that way and deal with his friends? Or do we want to go check out the secret door that Fortune found?
Why not both?
Right, but which
Yeah.
order?
I go towards the immediate door, and I knock on it.
Okay. There is no answer.
No one's home. I open it.
Yeah. You always so impulsive there.
I like to make things happen.
Well, that works.
All right. Unlike the barracks where this room directly is off of, this room has more comfortable furnishings. It looks like it's been well cared for. There is a very comfortable looking bed in the northwest corner of the room. It's got sumptuous sheets on it, beautiful blankets. The fabrics in this room are particularly lovely. It's very plush. There's also a wooden footlocker at the edge of the bed. There's a wooden table standing against the east wall with a padded leather chair beside it, and a brass 3-branch candlestick with 3 burning candles giving light to the room. They are not fresh candles. They weren't just lit, but they're not close to being done either. Under the table, you can see a small wooden box and a unlit bullseye lantern with a movable shutter over the lens. And on a shelf above the table are 3 books. Also, in the northeastern corner of the room is a closed wardrobe.
And this is the secret room?
This is no, this is not the secret room. This is the door that was before the secret room. Plenty of things to explore in here.
I want to look at the box.
Okay.
Take the books.
All right.
I sit on the bed.
I want
Jeffrey.
to look in the footlocker.
All right, Jeffrey, that bed is super comfortable.
Would this fit in the bag?
The sheets, perhaps, not the bed.
It's nice.
Yes, I'd say probably about 300 thread count at least.
Good eye. I begin to stand on it and jump on it.
All right. Inside the footlocker is a spell book of some sort. Inside the box is 12 candles, a flint and steel, and a piece of parchment, which I will come back to. Let's see here. Did someone go to the wardrobe, I heard, or no? We went footlocker, box, and books, yes? Okay. So, the first book that you pull down, Gwilyn, is a volume of erotic poetry, which is fully illustrated. It's very fine illustrations. The edges are gold-leafed. You imagine it would fetch quite a nice price if the right buyer was found. There is also next to it a naval almanac listing the tide times for the area of the coast around Saltmarsh. About 100 miles of coastline is covered in it. And a treatise concerning one the god Avari and her minions.
You know, I feel like we've learned a lot about the person who lives here just from this selection. I'm gonna take the nautical one, and I think we should sell the other 2, especially that one. Not quite my thing. However, it looks like it's worth a lot. And if none of you know the right people, I might.
But I mean, it's reading material. Why would you toss it away? There'd
I'm
be a
not
lot of
getting
time
rid
to
of
just
it.
read.
I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just saying, sell it. If
I'll buy
you
it off
want
you.
to take a look at it, go for it. Be my
Sure.
guest.
How much you want for it?
And Are you
Drops
willing
on
to
bed
trade?
stuff.
Are you willing to trade in favors? I might need some help with something later.
I like favors, sure.
Here you go then, and she'll hand
Here.
over both the other.
Okay, good. And Jeffrey pulls out the luck stone and hands it to Willen.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
Good trade.
Good trade.
Okay.
I found another spell book I have no use for and set it on the bed.
Ooh, I shall open that up and look at page 1.
Alrighty. I will get back to you on that. Oh, hang on, never mind. You see minor illusion, ray of frost, charm person, color spray, magic missile, silent image, magic mouth, and scorching ray.
Ooh, there's much more in this one than the other book.
Anything good?
And also a random piece of paper that includes in Goblin. It looks like a maybe a page of translations.
Does anyone read this language? It's unfamiliar to me.
No.
You could read the common words next to him. It's stop, fight, lift, and come.
I have comprehend languages.
You could
Does it look
absolutely...
important? If it looks important, give it here. I'll take a look at it.
It appears to be translated somewhat. Just 4 words, though. I'm not sure what use this is.
Gwilyn will use comprehend languages and see if she can find out anything else from it.
Okay. You learn that it is the Goblin equivalent of those words, basically a translation of those words. Coral, when you're going through the box, there's another piece of paper inside, and it seems to be a code of some sort. You see the words long, short, short, short. Is it safe? Then short, long, everything is safe. And long, 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 ready to unload, come to the ship.
Okay, can you say those again slower? So long,
Yes.
short, short, is it safe?
Mm-hmm. Short, long, everything is safe. Long, long, long is ready to unload, come to the ship. But there's no other explanation on the page.
What is Coral's int? Maybe Heather has an idea. She knows what it is.
If you would like to make an investigation check to see if Coral can figure it out, that is absolutely fine.
Okay. So maybe I rolled decent. That's a 16.
That'll do it. Coral
Right.
is able to put together that using the bullseye lantern with the cover, it's a signaling device. Who she's signaling, she's not entirely sure. But she's figured out that someone is signaling somebody.
Yep. It's a Paul Revere. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that this paper has some signals to give to somebody with the lantern over there. I don't know who they're signaling, but something's going on. That's for sure. And it's not ghosties.
Interesting.
It's place gets more and more interesting as we go.
Yeah, look, they must have a ship somewhere because there's all these translations for what to do with the ship. Is it safe? Everything is safe, ready to unload and come to the ship. So they've got to have a ship somewhere.
Fortune, you also find a fancy floor-length oilskin coat. The sleeves have numerous pockets inside, and it is trimmed with an iridescent green silk.
I'm gonna look over it, and I'm gonna put it in my bag.
Which bag? The bag of holding or your bag?
My bag.
All right. Gwilyn, do you ask Jaffer anything about this stone that he's given you?
Should ask. What exactly does this do, anyway?
So, how much do you know about magical items?
Fair bit.
Okay. So you can only, in the magical item world, what we call it is attunement. And what that means is you can only attribute so many magical items to you. You have to kind of make it your own. You can only do so many of these.
Right.
And when you do this, it gives you a bit of luck.
Sounds good. Thanks for that.
I figure you deserve it. And she
I appreciate it. She winks at.
Are you going to put the amulet on?
Not just yet, probably.
Alrighty.
That's put away for later.
Sounds good. All right.
We didn't look in the wardrobe yet.
Right. The wardrobe, when you look at it, appears to be empty.
I tap the bottom and the back.
Solid all the way around.
Cool, I'm impressed. You immediately didn't even question if it was a secret thing. You immediately have a lot of experience with that. Interesting.
Well, I mean, we've already found a couple of hidden doors, so it only makes sense.
Very
But
true.
someone else is welcome to double check, but I don't see anything. It's solid, and she bangs on the wood.
I load my crossbow and shoot it.
There is a very satisfying thunk as the arrow buries itself in the wood of the back of the wardrobe.
It's good.
It's a good roll. Can I see the list of the signals? Curious. Got experience. Let's see.
Yeah. Here you go. And she hands it over.
I say we take all that with us just in case we find what it's for.
Yes.
I agree. And I think that's what these candles are for too, to go in the lantern. We should probably take that as well. We don't know how dark it's going to be in some of these tunnels.
Yeah.
She's going to grab the box of candles and the lantern.
Is there anything? Is there like mattresses on the bed?
There is a feather mattress, yes.
If I try to lift it up, is there anything underneath it?
Nope, there is not.
I begin to fold up all the linens and roll it up.
Just to say this, because I feel it needs said, haven't already looked at one of those books, make sure you wash that.
Good advice for
Why?
taking any sheets from any bed.
Does Jaffer relook at the books to see what they are?
She does, and a big old smile goes across her face. And, yeah, I'm definitely gonna wash these, but they're really nice.
They are nice.
Indeed.
They're not
And
stiff.
So the book of erotic illustrated poetry goes in Jaffer's bag for later.
Fortune, would you mind grabbing this spell book and putting it in the bag with the other one? Or, no, I'm sorry, Coral. Coral, you have the other spell book.
Yeah, all right. I'll carry it around. It's no problem. We can look at them later.
Don't put them together.
They might breed.
Yeah, don't touch them together.
That's not how books work.
It's not like they're going to explode or anything. They'll be fine.
You'll have no fun.
And she shoves the second book into her bag.
She hops off the bed and, she was off the bed, so she begins to pull the linens out, having rolled them up out of the room, and she sets them next to the staircase to take them back up when they're done down here.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
So you have two secret doors to go through. You have the one that you saw the bandit gentleman disappear into, or the one that was found by Fortune. Where would you like to go?
Which way first?
Well, again, we can either go the way he was trying to go, or we can go through the secret door that Fortune leaned up against.
I mean, personally, I'd go that way first and go the way that there's probably people later, but that's...
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be my choice as well. There's no objections.
Alright.
All right. So if you give me one moment, I will expose the next area on the map for the players. Give the audience a bit of a description of what they see. As my Roll20 takes forever to unload, so I can see what I want to.
You see this circlet? This circlet allows me to breathe underwater. I made this myself. You see this cape? I made it myself. It allows me to swim underwater. You see this armor? It's just armor. But this rope, she pulls out a rope. I'll show you. And she says, she whispers something in a language that, unless you know Gnomish, you don't understand. And the rope begins to swirl up and clings to the ceiling. I can climb it. Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
She flicks it and it begins to knot itself. It's for easier climbing. Isn't that cool?
That's handy.
It is indeed.
Yes.
Truly the cat toy of the century.
I don't like that.
As the passage opens up and you descend into the staircase, it is fairly dark in here, so having the lit torches that you brought with you is helpful. It splits off into two, and both seem to descend towards what you think might be towards the ocean. You're not entirely sure. It's been a little twisty and turny down here, but it feels like you're heading towards the sea. There are torches also set in brackets along the walls. It looks like you could easily light them, but lighting them would also alert anyone who might be down here that you're coming. There are both carved stone and natural stone down here. That was amazing, and it just took me half a second to realize what just happened. And it's about 20 feet in diameter. But which way do you go? Left or right?
Does anyone have a coin to flip?
We've all got 9.
Does somebody with thumbs wish to flip a coin?
Good adventurers
I've
always
got
go
it.
right.
We've heard good adventurers always go right, and someone is flipping a coin.
I mean, I'd go left.
That makes sense.
I do have a coin if someone would like to assign heads or tails.
All right.
Let's. Sure.
You go right?
Yeah,
Tails, you go left?
Right.
All right, heads you go right, tails you go left. The one will be tails. Okay.
Okay.
It is one. Tails. It is. Which way is that? We're going
Left.
right?
Left.
Left. Okay, you're going left. I want to make sure I reveal the correct area.
You can reveal both. That's okay. We don't mind.
All right, as you start down, you see more and more worked stone in this direction. There is what appears to be two branches off to the right as you're traveling, and then another, maybe a room towards the straight ahead. How is it you would like to proceed?
The room first?
Right, so you guys head to the room. And inside, it looks like this cavern, like the passage that leads to it, is well lit. The torches in here have been lit, and they're held in simple iron brackets around the walls. You can see 5 or 6 bolts of cloth stacked against the wall. And on your right are 8 small casks all in a row. There's also a chair facing you as you enter the room. A gentleman sitting in it, smoke wafting out of its pipe. As you enter, he stands up and goes, "I wondered when you would be coming. Roll initiative." Heather, would you like to again be our initiative bunny? Thank you.
I'm on it. Corals is a 19 total.
Alrighty.
18 total for Gwilyn.
I also got an 18.
Are we gonna go wisdom again? Because we already know Dex doesn't work out. So it's you.
12.
Yeah.
A 7.
Okay. The gentleman has a 9. Looking at him, you do see a tall man with a shaved head and piercing green eyes. He seems to be very confident, knowing that you would come. He also seems to be completely in his element down here. Given the way he is dressed, it's entirely possible that this is the gentleman to whom the room belonged, that you were so recently inside. Coral.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try it. All right, she just kind of stares him down. Well, aren't you a fancy man then? And blows a really sharp, painful note on her pipe.
Okay.
And I'm casting Bane.
Alrighty.
So I need a charisma save.
That is a 9.
That's a fail. So you now have to roll a d4 and subtract it from all of your attack rolls and saving throws for the next minute.
Excellent. Alrighty. Fortune.
He does seem like threatening, right?
There's definitely an air of malice that is kind of pouring off of him.
Yeah. I'm just gonna dodge for this turn.
Okay.
Yeah. Just wait for him to come at me, but be ready to dodge.
Gwilyn?
Gwilyn is going to charge forward and take a swing at him with one of her swords.
Alrighty.
That's an 18.
That will hit.
And 10 damage.
Alrighty.
And she's gonna swing again. With the other arm.
Alrighty.
That one's only an 11.
Still hits. He's not wearing armor of any sort.
And 6 damage.
Okay. His nose... Well, you hit him with a sword. Never mind. I was going to say his nose was bleeding from where you hit him, but that didn't make sense. So he wipes a little bit of the blood off of his garments and just kind of looks at you. This is worth way more than you'll ever be. How dare you? And he stands up. Jaffer.
Jaffer is going to pull out of her bag a little clockwork turtle, and she's going to lean down and put it on the ground and pull out a little wooden wand and twist it in the back. It begins to sputter forward, and then it expands into like a dog size, a large dog size turtle. It opens up its mouth, and a little barrel comes out and shoots him.
Okay. That hits.
That's a total of 12 points of force damage, and he is knocked back 5 feet, potentially over his chair that he just sat up out of.
So as he stands and begins to take a step towards Gwilyn, this shot rings out of seemingly nowhere from this little dog, and
The turtle.
turtle. Sorry, I thought you said dog for some, but it's the size of a
It's
dog.
dog size. It's like
My
big.
apologies.
It's fine. And then Jaffer
And-
comes on top of it.
The pipe drops from his mouth as he goes flying backwards and drops without even getting a spell off.
Whoops.
Really, so overly confident.
I shoot him again.
He does not get back up.
Okay.
Well, that was a bit of a letdown.
I mean, technically. It expands. It goes back down into a little clockwork toy, and she puts it back in her pocket.
Good work, though. I like that.
I thought that was going to be, more useful. It's fine. I can only do that like once a day. Well, potentially.
This is incredibly useful.
Indeed.
Well, it was very effective and very adorable.
Thank you. I designed it
Very
myself.
puzzling. Where does all that mass go?
Magic beats science.
Some sort of enlarge reduce spell, I suppose.
Something like that.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Okay.
There are
Yeah.
plenty of things in this room that are very fascinating if anyone wants to take a look around.
Yes. Gwilyn will take a look.
I want to check what the casks are.
All right. You go and crack open one of the casks and you find very, very good, expensive brandy. Each of these casks is probably worth 10 gold at market. Easily.
Well, each of these will fetch us at least 10 gold apiece. It's fine brandy.
Or we can drink it.
Yes.
Always an option.
Always an option.
Well, there's enough barrels that we could each take one and then sell the rest.
Good choice.
True. Oh, you could take one to your grandmother, and sure, you can use the brandy for good baking.
That's very true.
All right. Is there anything else anybody explores?
Jeffrey goes over to the guy's body and just begins to rifle through his pockets.
Right. On him, you find a set of masterfully crafted gaming dice. It looked like they might be loaded. Your
Perfect.
very keen eye detects that they would be worth about 20 gold.
Or I can use them and make 10 times that much.
That is true. You could indeed.
Cool.
I'm gonna take his pipe. I'm gonna just tap out whatever was in the pipe itself, but keep the pipe itself. Just,
All right.
Be
Just
careful
to
with that.
have.
All right. Great. Let me know when you use that.
Okay.
Is anyone interested in the clothes that he said were worth more than us, apparently?
Well, I certainly don't think he should get to keep them. Although, again, given his taste in books, you might want to wash that first.
Why?
took an
wasn't planning to
overcoat.
wear it on its own.
And Gwilyn will check out the bolts of fabric.
All right. Gwilyn, this fabric is, oh my gosh, it is sumptuous and well made. These bolts of silk are probably worth 50 gold apiece. And they're very recognizable.
Now these, I definitely think we should sell.
Give me an investigation check.
I was gonna say, what do you mean by recognizable?
It could be hot.
Synthetic 20.
All right. You're familiar enough with the work that Gellin Primewater does as a purveyor of fine fabrics to know exactly where these came from. These are Gellin's stock. Sure enough.
We might be better off winning some favor by trying to return them where they came from, though.
Where do they come from?
These belong to Gellin.
I thought that pattern looked familiar.
Maybe he
Oh.
sold them to him.
Well, he was wearing it at
Potentially.
the party.
Might be better to check, though, before we just take them somewhere. That way we don't get into trouble for it.
It's a good
Yeah.
plan.
Wouldn't hurt to ask him.
It's always good to have some favor with the council.
Indeed.
Now, think about a good idea of what sort of ships they're flagging down.
I'd say we do.
I propped the chair up and faced it against the wall, and then I propped the guy's body up against the wall. So it looks like he's staring at the wall.
Is anyone else concerned that this might be signs that the sea princes are coming back? It seems a bit sketchy and piratey to me.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Ah.
Not all smugglers are necessarily associated with the princes, but it is worth thinking of.
I'm aware of that, and I'll keep it in mind. She kind of winks at Gwilyn.
Gwilyn winks
But,
back.
but nonetheless, it's a bit disturbing.
I'd agree with you. I've heard some other things recently that lead me to be concerned about that. Not to be discussed here, though, I think.
No, I heard some things too, but nothing
Alright.
solid.
We can't carry all this on our own right now. We should probably keep looking around and then come back for it.
Agreed.
All right. You also find in the corner a set of mariner's armor. Sorry, a set of scale mail that someone will have to identify at some point, maybe perhaps along with that pipe.
We'll take it with us. I don't think we should sit around to identify things in this room, given that we've already found one person awake and alive down here. Maybe just take things with us that we can carry and come back for the day.
Sounds like a good idea. And we should check out that path down to the right back there.
Agreed.
Okay, so as you exit out of this area, do you take the first path now on your left or the second?
Can I kind of like peek down the path to see which one if one goes farther than the other? I
Sure.
don't know how far I'd be able to see.
So you peek down the first one and it seems to be bending around a little bit towards something. And in the second, hang on. And in the second, you see a path looking like it's going into another chamber.
Okay. The one goes into another room, and the other is bending. I can't see where it goes.
Do you want to do like before and check out the one that goes into a room before we go with the one that goes potentially further down?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea. And honestly, the one that curves might go into the room as well. We don't know.
It could.
Yeah.
All right. So which one are you going? Number one or number one? Or number two?
The
Right.
one that goes straight into a room.
All right. So you guys head on down into an open cavern. Doesn't seem to be too much down here. You can see occasional footfalls, but nothing too much around that you can tell. It seems to continue on.
Does it look like this is natural or is this carved?
This definitely looks like it's natural here.
And the ceiling, how high is the ceiling?
The ceiling is about 20-ish feet up.
Does it look like the curving path leads to this room as well?
Not that you can tell. But it appears to go on further up ahead.
Is it staying on a level up ahead, or does it look like it's going down?
Up ahead, it looks like it is starting to slope up. It just seems to be kind of damp and chilly down here. It smells like seawater wherever you are, but you don't see the same torch holders. No sconces down here.
So like they probably didn't use this room much or at all.
Correct. Perhaps there's something more ahead.
Well, personally, I would go with the sloping up before sloping down, just because the further down we potentially go, the more likely we're going to run into water. Given everything we've found so far, something here must go out to water.
Seems like a good idea. And after all, this might slope back up to the original entrance that we came through. We don't know yet until we see.
Aye.
So you are heading up, is what I heard?
Yes.
All right. As you head up, I'd like each of you to roll me a d20.
1.
10.
13.
3.
And Fortune, when you get back, I need a d20 roll from you.
6.
All right. As you are passing, walking, or flying, as the case may be, into the next area, there is a slight sound as 2 green green slimes, drop from the ceiling and land on both Gwillin and Crackers with a very rather disgustingly soggy slapping noise.
Oh, this is soggy and disgusting.
Both of you take 5 acid damage as it hits you.
This place is terrible on the wardrobe.
Do you wipe it off? Do you keep moving?
Yes, I try to shake it off as best I can.
All right.
Yeah, try to get it off.
What are you using to get it off of you?
Help!
Did it
Gwillin
like...
use her sash that she has around her hair.
As you start to wipe it off with your sash, the acid begins to eat away at the material and continues to burn for another 5 points of acid damage.
I don't like this.
Ouch. Did it like basically just crush Crackers under it?
Basically just slurped all over Crackers, yeah.
Okay. Coral's gonna reach down and try to pick up Crackers out of the ooze without touching any of the ooze, if at all possible.
Okay. Make a dexterity check to see if you can do that.
Okay. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a 15.
Yep, you are able to find spots on Cracker that are not oozy. This is a terrible sentence. I will never say it again.
I
All
hope
right,
to
don't
never
get
be
mad at me for
oozy again.
Don't get mad at me for this. I'm trying to help. And she gently sort of tips him a little to one side. She's not like shaking him. She just is like tipping him a little to try to let it slide off a little more.
Okay. We'll say that between your assistance and Gwillin's ability to wipe off everything, you guys managed to get the rest of the slime off of you both, avoiding further damage. But you are slightly sticky, and this is not a good feeling. You make your way into the next cavern.
Prestidigitation.
There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Not a problem. You're awfully sticky. I don't want it on me either.
You make your way back up.
People's clothes.
Perfect.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. And discover yourselves back at the top where you started, with the stairs to the cellar.
Okay, so do we go back for the carving path? No.
I see no reason why not.
Aye. Hopefully there's nothing else sticky and disgusting in that.
Hopefully not, but if there is, at least we can clean you up and fix your clothes.
True.
Magic's very handy.
Yeah.
All right. As you move forward, and I accidentally click away from where I needed to be. You find another storage area. More silks, more casks of brandy. And a smuggler waiting, sword drawn to attack.
Hi.
What are you doing here? How did you get past Sandbillet?
Very easily.
Which one was Sam Bullet?
He's dead?
You mean the corpse in the other room?
Possibly.
Vicious mockery.
Okay. Go ahead and that's a save on his part, right?
Hold on, let me check. I haven't actually ever used it. Yes, it's a wisdom save.
Okay, well that's a 9.
Okay, so he takes a d4 of psychic damage and has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Okay.
And I rolled a 4, so he takes 4 psychic damage.
All right. He drops to his knees. He goes, "I'm so sorry. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. You can do whatever you want. Just please, take whatever you need. Take whatever you want. It's fine. I won't resist. Just don't kill me, please. Please."
Well, that was
Please.
easy.
Yeah, that was really
Hey.
rude what you said. Give me your weapons.
Okay.
Jeffrey goes over, little gnome.
He hands over a sword and a crossbow.
Is that everything?
It's everything on me. It's everything I've got.
There's nothing in your boots then?
Oh, nothing. Do you want my boots? I'll give them to you.
Do we want his boots? Are they good boots? I like his boots.
They're not great boots.
I don't want his boots. It's a short sword?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will fly over and perch on Gwilyn's shoulder. Gwilyn, you look a little acidy burned and beaten up. Would you like a little bit of healing?
I'd appreciate that, thanks.
Very good, very good. La 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 la. And I cast Cure Wounds. And you regain 7 hit points.
Thank you for that.
Lovely.
This is the weirdest adventure I've ever been on.
I mean, the best adventure you've ever been on.
I
That's
mean,
valid, smuggler.
I just call it as I see it, man. As long as you let me go, that's all I care.
All right. I used my rope on the one back up in the barracks. Who wants to tie up this one?
I've got several kinds,
Of rope?
apparently.
Just in case, or for personal reasons?
Different uses for different kinds.
I'm not using my good rope, but I can do it. I could use my not so good rope, and I pull out my hempen rope. Give me your wrists,
Okay.
so because like to tie him up behind his back, and then tie it to his legs, and then I push him over.
He just kind of flumps there
It
sadly.
what exactly can you tell us about what's going on here? I mean, obviously you're a smuggling operation, but if you give us some details, we might be able to help you get off light.
I don't know. I take the goods that Sandbillet acquires and I put them in the boat, and then that's all I do. I don't really do much else. I'm just a hired man. I just do what I'm told.
Are your
Right.
dockhands then load and unload the ship?
Basically.
Does the
Where's
ship
the
have a
dock?
name?
I don't even know the name of the ship.
Low level
Look
higher.
like. Is there anything to
Very low.
say about it?
It's kind of big. It's got a couple of masts, a big crow's nest. I don't know. It's not supposed to be here for a couple more days. I know that.
How often has it been coming?
About once every 2 weeks.
And what are you putting onto it besides the fabric and the brandy?
Normally it's mostly fabrics and brandies, and sometimes it's exotic foods and stuffs. Mostly. Sometimes it's more like rugs and things, but mostly textiles.
No drugs?
Not that I know of, and it wouldn't tell me even if there were. It'd be afraid of us taking them.
That's valid.
Sure enough.
Well, we're gonna go and we're gonna continue to explore this area. And when we come back, maybe we'll let you go if you're nice.
Okay.
Also-
what is down this passageway?
The beach.
And are there any more people down there? Or is it just you now?
It's just me now.
Good to know.
Okay.
What about the other path? How many people are you down here total?
Right now or in general?
Right now.
Just I'm the only one left. He looks really sad.
Where's everyone else?
They ran when you guys triggered the magic mouth.
Which way did they run? Down towards the beach?
Some ran up, most of them ran up towards Sandballet, trying to make sure that there was a force against you, but some may have completely skipped out.
Where was the magic mouth?
Up in the house.
I think it was that thing that yelled out at us.
Probably, yeah.
You mean the dead wizard?
No, the scary thing when we open the trapdoor.
Magic mouth is just a
Ah.
spell. Yeah.
That's right, I forgot about that.
It's been a long time. That was a fun one.
Why did you stay?
I was told to guard the goods.
Oh, and you've done an excellent job.
Thank
It's
you.
very well guarded.
Well, he
I
didn't
take
run.
pride in my work.
He didn't run. That's one step up from the others.
Sure
Barely.
enough.
You know what? I think that you need a promotion.
Yeah?
So, where are you staying when you're not, tied up in a tunnel surrounded by people who could definitely just off you easily? Where do you usually stay?
I stay in a little shack down on the beach by Crabber's Cove.
Interesting. I've been trying to save up some money so that I can get a ship so that I can get out of the dock where we are. Would you be willing to be a deckhand on my ship?
Sure.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's got to be better than being a deckhand for a dead guy, right?
That's a valid point.
I think out of this one.
Because you're loyal, and I support loyalty.
Thanks, boss. Will you let me go now, please?
Not yet.
Okay.
You're hiring someone you don't even know the name of.
Are you judging me, Parrot?
Always.
Valid answer.
Oh.
What is your name, by the way?
Dal.
Is that short for Dallas?
It is not.
That's too bad.
That's a character on another podcast.
What's a podcast?
I don't know. My nose is bleeding a little bit suddenly.
It's really shaken.
Maybe we should stop asking him questions for a bit.
Yeah.
I've got one last question. How many of you are there normally when they don't run?
5 or so?
Good to know.
Do you know their names? And do they live in town?
No, some of them live around the area. There's me, Sanballat, and there's Ponce, and Hugh, and that's 5, right?
That's 4.
You're
Oh.
close.
And technically, that's 3 because Sambalat's not alive anymore.
Well, I was counting them when I said how many there was normally.
That's valid. No, that's still 4.
And Bud.
I like Bud.
Probably shouldn't hire that one too if we find them. I mean, they did run.
Oh, yeah, they're not loyal.
That's true. All right. I've got one last question for you, Dal. And it's not a hard one, I think, if they've told you. Do you know how they're getting the goods?
I don't. I just do what I'm told.
Suspected that. Told you. Low hire.
It was worth asking. You never know.
Sure.
Drunk lips, drop secrets occasionally.
I wish I were drunk. This would be.
Yeah.
There are casks of brandy around.
Yeah, but I'm not supposed to sample from the merchandise. That would be stealing.
I really like you.
Oh, sweetheart, you're in the wrong line.
Seriously.
Well, it depends on who you're stealing from, I guess. There's certain people that you don't want to steal from, and other people.
I'd steal
Yeah.
from the idiot upstairs. Just saying.
That's fair enough. And the asshole down the other path.
Aye.
My clothes are worth more than you, bollocks.
Yeah, I'd steal everything he had.
He's not a very nice man.
No, he wasn't.
He really wasn't. Hey, good news though. You don't work for him now.
That's right. I work for a new boss, who I don't know her name. But
Jaffer.
I work for Jaffer now. Awesome. And she's gonna release me, right?
Maybe.
Eventually.
It's hard to work for you in a rope.
Depends on the kind of work.
Exactly what I was going to say.
You know, maybe when if Jaffer finishes that book, you might like it too then.
As long as I'm not dead, I don't really care. I mean, not dying, I think, is higher on my list than
Alright.
questioning what kind of work I need to do.
Can we please go take the other path now?
So you guys continuing forward down the path?
We'll be back, doll. Don't move.
Okay. He kind of looks back at his hands that have been hog-tied. I won't! As you walk a little further down the path, just beyond where the cargo is being held, the sand shifts slightly, as if the water at one point reached up to this area. And the tide must get high in this. You must be getting close. And as it opens up fully, you see perched, not too far down, a small little ship. Maybe large enough for 8 people, with oars and a step-down mast, the sail neatly furled. There's a rope tied across the bow, and it's being held by a large boulder that's serving as an anchor. And just beyond it, the open sea.
Well, that must be how they're getting the goods to the big ship.
Yes.
And I think we all just acquired a boat of our own if we want it.
We did.
I quite like that.
Yes.
I'm alright with it.
More of a skiff, really.
It's still a boat.
It's
They're
a
useful
boat, not a
around here.
ship.
That's true. You can fit a boat on a ship, but you can't fit a ship on a boat. It's a very important distinction.
Gwilyn will check out the boat.
Zephyr as well.
Yes.
It's very ship-shaped. There's enough room for 8 people. There's cargo storage space. Not a whole lot, but you can imagine that there is plenty of room to transport the brandy and textiles that you've found back to town fairly easily and safely. It's a tiny little boat. There's no name on it or anything. You could christen it whatever you like.
Now I'm gonna say this because I don't like to just make decisions. I don't like to just. I mean, I do like to do that, but I respect the fact that we want to make decisions together. So, what say you, Elle, and myself? We tie Del, or we release Del, and have him load up the ship with everything that's in here, and then once we're done here, we take this ship and we take it to somewhere else.
And then we can sell or return the items as we see fit.
Precisely.
Bit easier than dragging everything all the way back up.
I agree.
And we'd have him do it so we don't have to.
Well, unless we wanted to take several hours with all those casks, we might want to help him. But it'll go a lot faster with another set of hands.
Still.
There's an entire area we have to, potentially. We'll have him start,
Right.
and then
Hey, we can help him finish it
come
up.
back. Exactly. And if he finishes it, he gets a bonus.
That seems fair. And I'd also like to point out we still need to deal with the mana tied to the table upstairs.
Oh yeah.
Apparently that's
Yeah.
either Ponce,
We
Q, or
bought them.
Bud.
That's valid.
Sure enough.
We could leave him tied up though. I mean, he tried to run and he clearly wasn't very smart since he was still cooking after the magic mouth went off. I don't think you'd want to hire him.
True.
Nah.
Unless he's a really good cook.
He was a good runner. He wasn't a very good at, not
Anything
being
else?
subdued by a little gnome.
Well, you're small but mighty.
Thank
Hey,
you. I
give
like you a
yourselves
lot.
sit.
All right, so you guys are heading back up to the cellar floor to go through that other secret door, is what I'm hearing.
Yep. And on the way, Jaffer will free Dal and tell him to start loading stuff onto the boat, the ship.
He says, "Aye, aye, Captain," and starts. Would you like me to secure it in the usual way that we used to? Keep it safe for transport.
Yes, please.
Definitely.
Well, the ship won't be.
You cut out.
Oh, sorry. So, well, the other ship won't be here for another 2 weeks, but we're not taking it to the ship, are we?
No, we're not.
Okay. Whatever you say, boss. And he starts heading off and making his way, carrying the silks to the little boat and storing them in their proper places. Should I keep doing this until you get back, or what
Correct.
is it? Okay.
Yes.
And if you get done with this, feel free to come inside. There's some nice linens. Feel free to put that on the ship as well. And pretty much anything of worth, begin to just load the ship up.
But don't untie your friend upstairs.
Right.
And
Okay.
Don't put any of the furniture on the ship. We don't need the furniture.
No.
Okay. I can do that.
Good job.
And Dal starts doing what you've asked him. You get the idea that he's not the brightest bulb in the box and is very willing to do anything you say as long as it keeps him alive. You make your way back up to the secret room. I still want to just sing Secret Tunnel because I am a crazy person who likes
We
Avatar way
avoid
too
the green
much.
slime area.
Yes.
Seriously.
Which is easy enough to do now that you know how to get past it. Ready. So you walk up the stairs back through the large living quarters, past whatever individual you have tied up on the table. And you enter the other part of the secret room.
Is the person on the table awake?
He is, yeah, they are awake. They look to be irritated because I believe you gagged them as well. And are kind of like trying to inch their way to the edge of the table as you come up.
So are you Ponce, Q, or Bud? I want to make sure we know your name, just in case.
Potentially for a gravestone, if you don't cooperate.
He doesn't. They do not respond to you. They just kind of glare at you more.
I will fly down or beside them on the table and bite their nose quite hard. That's what happens when you don't answer questions. Shall we try again? I'll pull the gag out of his mouth.
Little hard to answer questions with that in, don't you think?
You could have nodded.
Aye.
I didn't tie your head in place.
In fairness, it was a multiple choice question. I don't know that nodding would help.
1 nod for Pawns, and 2 nods for Q, and 3 nods for Bud.
Could have
That's
made it
fine.
work.
My name is Q.
Like,
Good to
like
know.
lining up, or like, is that short for something?
Like a pool stick.
Oh. Jeffrey goes into her notes and begins to cross it out.
Well, Q, perhaps you could answer a few questions for us. That hidden door over there, next to the fireplace, where does that lead?
It leads to the wine cellar.
Hmm. And what might we find down there besides wine, of course, obviously?
Stairs.
Any of your
Leading
friends?
to-
The upstairs. That's typically where stairs go. They either go up or down. These ones go up.
Ah, so they ascend back into the house.
Yeah. I don't know that any of my friends are still in there. I would imagine they've all scampered off by now.
Well, one of them's not going to be doing any scampering anytime soon.
Aye.
Okay.
And another one will be scampering at the beat of a new drum.
All right. So, can I... Are You gonna kill me?
We haven't decided yet.
Still up in the air. But I'm sure that your helpful attitude could make all the difference.
I mean, I already told you what you're gonna find and stuff.
Do you know how you all were getting the goods?
That was Sandbullet's job. I'm just a cook.
Are you a
Valuable.
good cook?
I'm decent.
And you don't know the names or anything about anyone who was outside of this direct operation? Anything useful?
No. All of our missives came by letter.
Do you know if any of these letters are still around?
Not that I know of. I didn't get them myself.
I assumed not. Well, I'm up for the door. But you guys are welcome to talk to him some more if you'd like first.
Coral's gonna check
don't
that
know.
all the ropes are tied well.
Yeah, they're very secure. What were you saying, Jay?
No other questions. Basically.
Wait.
No. All right, we're done talking to you for now.
Does that mean you'll let me go?
Oh, I didn't say that. And she shoves the gag back in.
Have fun!
We'll be back. I promise we're not going to leave you here to die tied to a table.
Unless we get distracted.
Yeah.
Yes, it would be terrible if there was some kind of deadly trap in the next room that killed us all and you were left here to starve.
We'll haunt you.
Indeed.
He just kind of rolls his eyes.
Very well. Into the wine cellar?
All right. So as you enter into the wine cellar, you can see shoulder height wooden bottle racks that line all of the walls. Doesn't seem to be any intact bottles though. Shattered bottles completely cover the floor. And against the eastern wall, there are at the foot of the stairs, there are two metal storage bins that appear to be empty. And in the center of the room is a dead person, looking like they've been here for a little while. They've got a long sword, they're wearing some plate mail, and there's a large shield covering the corpse's legs.
Is there something we can throw at the body? From
Oh
the
yeah, there's
doorway,
a bunch
just
of
in
broken...
case?
Jaffer loads a crossbow and shoots it.
It lands with a very satisfying thunk into the body.
It's plate armor, like a full set of plate armor.
Mm-hmm. You shot it in the face, though.
Well.
Yeah.
Is anyone else thinking that Ponce and Bud had a fight down here over something?
Maybe.
Could be.
It's a lot of armor.
I'll fly back to the table and pull the gag out of Bud's mouth. Who's the dead man?
Some villager on a quest to come and find the alchemist. We had to dispatch him.
When she hears that, Coral goes over and turns the body over to see who it was.
You don't necessarily recognize him. Looks like one of the newer people that came into town. Probably went down to investigate the strange noises.
I don't recognize him. He must be one of the newer arrivals. She looks over at Fortune and Jaffer and Crackers. Do any of you know who he is?
I'm sorry I shot him.
I don't think you did any harm.
Aye, it's a bit late for that.
Still desecration. No. Don't recognize him.
No, I came to town alone.
Can't say I've seen him before.
Are there any crests or anything on his shield?
No, it's all been very badly beaten. It looks like the plate armor's been dinged up. It's still serviceable, but it's not looking any sort of good. It looks like he was clubbed and kicked a whole bunch, and everything is kind of dented.
All right. Well, if there's no objections, I definitely think we should take him back. There might be someone in town who's looking for him.
Aye, just in case. We are looking for missing people.
Right? He's probably one of them. That reminds me. She goes back to the table. All right, Q. How many people have you had to kill and get rid of around here in the last few weeks that you've been doing this? Or months?
Kill and get rid of? Not very many. Maybe one.
All right. And you said that very strangely, so have you not killed some of them?
Oh yeah, some of them were not killed.
And what happened to them?
Cargo.
I punch him.
And do you know where they went?
On the ship. Like all the rest of the cargo.
Which one
See,
is that
he's
ship?
not-
The name? I don't know the name of it.
Could you describe it at all?
It's a big ship, got some masts, crow's nests, you know.
Wow, that really narrows it down. I can't imagine why you weren't promoted sooner.
Well. Like I said, I'm just a cook.
How many people have you put on the ship as cargo then? Give us a ballpark.
In the last couple of months or in general?
Last couple of months.
20 or so? 30
How long's this operation been going?
years?
Ballpark of how many?
Longer than I've been alive.
And where does the ship go?
No idea.
Somehow doubt he cares.
All right. Well, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm going to drag you in front of the magistrate, along with the dead body down in the cellar, and see what shakes out for you.
Sounds good to me.
Alright. I'll still be breathing, so that's fine by me.
Will you, though?
We could always keelhaul him on the way to the docks. I mean, it's not our fault if he doesn't fit in the boat.
You
Things
can drag it behind the
happen.
boat.
That's what I mean.
Ooh, yes.
Or is that keel haul? I don't know. I don't really know lingo.
It is. You tie him and drag him
You-
behind the boat.
Make an intimidation check.
Coral?
Mm-hmm.
Does she get any assistance?
Sure. You can roll with advantage if you like.
Okay. The first roll was better, but that's a 14.
He just looks at you. And then looks back at the rest of you. Very much unbelieving that you would keel haul him.
What? You think you're special? You think I haven't done it before?
No, I just don't think you would go through with it. Honestly, you don't seem like the type.
Personally, I would.
Yeah, you're right. I prefer tying rocks to your feet than pushing you overboard.
I worked with Sandbillet. You should work on your threats to be a little bit more convincing.
It wasn't very impressive. He's already dead.
Very true.
Bullet for him.
Bullet for him, actually. But
2 of
that's
them.
neither here nor there. All right. That's all of the areas of this place that we've found so far, right?
Correct.
Is there anything beyond the metal boxes downstairs where the body was?
There are the stairs up to the next level, but as you climb them, it leads to another trapdoor, which is locked from the top.
All right. This one's locked, so we'd have to go through the building.
Shall we do a quick exploration of the upstairs just to make sure we haven't missed anything?
Just a quick look
Alright.
around.
We might as well. He's not going anywhere, and Dal's loading the ship.
Alright.
Do you want me to stay here and keep an eye on him?
Which one?
I trust one of them. I don't trust Hugh.
I think he's pretty secure for the moment.
Okay.
I re-gag him, though, so that he can't talk to Dal.
If he does get loose, I'm sure that someone will find him and he'll come to his comeuppance later.
Sure.
Jaffer is going to enchant in front of the in front of Q some shining symbology that just says unemployed, so that when Dell comes in, you tell immediately that this individual is unemployed.
Nice. Alright.
I think it.
So you guys make your way back up the other stairs into the main part of the house. And you take a peek around. Do you go up to the upper floor or do you just search the ground floor?
I think we searched the entire place.
Alright. So on the ground floor you poke around, and while you find, several different living areas and a study and a library which are full of all old books that are decrepit and falling apart, there's nothing of note that you find on the ground floor.
All right. Who's game for going upstairs?
Let's go.
Yeah, as well.
Watch out for rotten floorboards, though.
Definitely.
Alright. So you head up the stairs and you find several bedrooms. The first bedroom that you go in has a wardrobe with a pair of old cracked boots. Nothing special about them, and a ragged cloak hanging on a peg. The next bedroom has rubbish scattered all around. Once a very fine guest bedroom. There's evidence of rodent infestation, and there are spider webs in the corners. There's a 4-poster bed that stands against the wall opposite a fireplace, and the woodwork is kind of ridden with worms, and the curtains are torn and stained. There's no bed linens, but the bed is mostly intact. Do you guys move into the next bedroom? This bedroom has absolutely no furniture and is, again, filled with rubbish. There are spider webs that cover the walls and the ceilings, and from the doorway, you can see a highly reflective object in the fireplace.
Does anyone else see something in the fireplace?
Aye, not sure what it is, though.
I shall fly over to the fireplace and investigate.
Alrighty, go ahead and make an investigation check, please.
Four.
Hey, you're not sure what it is. Maybe it's just the metal of the fireplace that is glinting like this.
Well, it's
Oh.
nothing important.
Something looks like glass, maybe? And maybe it's a glass fireplace? That's strange.
Gwilyn will carefully walk over there, keeping an eye on the structure and the webs.
Mhm.
Because she's had enough things ruin her outfit today.
Alright. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
That is a 5. We're graded.
Nope, it's totally this glass fireplace. That's gotta be what it is.
Are they saying this out loud that it's a glass fireplace?
I don't know.
It looks like glass. I can't tell what it is, but it looks like glass.
Glass in a fireplace? That's odd. How's the floor?
Yes.
Floor seemed alright. I didn't have any trouble on my way over here.
Alright, I'll come take a look too. I'm curious what it is. And she heads over to look.
Alright, roll an investigation check.
That's a nat 20.
Alright. You poke through and you find a flat-bottomed crystal orb. This little bauble. Not particularly valuable or useful, but pretty.
I pull it out.
Glass.
It's pretty.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like it's worth much, but I don't know. Maybe Gran will like it.
Do you move on to the next bedroom? So you open up this bedroom, and the room appears to be another very dirty, decaying bedroom without any furniture in it. And even when looking through the doorway, it's evident that the floor does not look safe in here. You can see an open window across the expanse with a very nice view of the ocean from this room. Anyone who would like to may make an investigation or a survival check.
Okay.
And that would be a 19 investigation.
All right. Crackers, you can see footprints in the dust that look like they go to the window and back. Probably if one were to use those exact footsteps, they might be able to get over to the window to check out this lovely view without falling.
I roll a natural 1 just in case there's anything like that bad happens when you do that.
Jaffa, you're like, if I step right there, I bet you I can totally make it to that window.
Done.
Do you act on that impulse?
Of course. I'm all about impulse.
As you take a step, the floorboard underneath you creaks very ominously, and there is a crash as you fall down to the next level of the house, and you take
Whoops.
6 points of damage as you fall.
Ow.
Yeah, right down there.
She just squeals.
And that's why we don't run into the room with the hideously worm-eaten floor.
Alright. I rolled an 18 survival. Do I see the same thing?
Yes, you can see tracks leading from the door to the window and back again along the west side of the room.
Well,
I'm wondering
I
if
got
this is... Oh, go ahead.
I got a 7 on survival, but I also watched Jaffer fall to the floor, so I'm not gonna go into the room.
Sounds good.
I wonder if this is the room that he signals from. Or, well, used to signal from. I mean, it's got a perfect view of the bay.
That makes sense.
A rope just kind of curls up around one of the the floorboards and like pulls it a bit, and then you see it begins like to wiggle as Jaffer begins to climb back up again. That's a good point. Probably does that.
It would make sense. I mean, it's got a great view of the ocean, so they'd see it for miles.
Do you head over to the window?
Yeah. She follows the path.
What about you, Crackers? Do you go too?
I will simply fly to the windowsill.
Yes, you have the added benefit of not needing to test any of those floorboards. And as you get closer to the windowsill, you can definitely see a few fresh scratches in the windowsill that looks like they were maybe dug into by some metal. There's scuffed floor dust immediately by the window. It definitely looks like this is a well-used spot in the house.
I believe you are correct, Coral.
It would make the most sense. And she takes out the lantern and sets it near the scuffs on the banister to see if they kind of match up.
They match up perfectly.
Yeah, looks like he puts it here in used to put it here in signal. So if we come back when the ship's supposed to be here, I wonder if we could catch more of the crew. Perhaps with a bit of backup, though.
Indeed. And now we
Good
have
point.
some idea when it'll be here.
Maybe with some soldiers in the town guard. Might be worth it. I bet we could talk to Gillen.
I think that's an excellent idea.
I don't imagine he likes having people steal from him. Especially if they've been doing it for years.
Not to mention that what they seem to have been doing with the people.
There's that too. There's a lot of missing people
Yes.
over the years.
Assuming they are stealing from him and he's not trading with these people.
I mean, that's fair. Although, I've known Gillen for a long time. I mean, he's definitely a businessman. But I don't really see him being someone that would trade people. That's the thing. So even if he was trading goods with them, he might not have known about the people they were selling.
And if he is trading the people, then well, maybe we don't give him all of the silks back to start with.
I would say don't give him all the information either, and maybe tell someone else as well, who we're sure isn't a part of it,
Agreed.
if you're concerned about it.
It's just a thought, but we should be talking to the council as a whole, probably. So Anders in the group.
They can't all
there's
be in on it.
definitely- Right. Well, it also, it's got to have to do with the missing people, which just make the most sense.
Aye.
Especially if they've had 20 that they've sent out in the recent months. It would make sense with all the new influx of people. I mean, us locals, we don't really come over here that much. I mean, occasionally someone dares their friend to go do it or something like that, but it's not often.
No.
But new people coming to town, they're not going to have the same superstitions.
We definitely
right.
should take it in.
Well, this decrepit floor is a bit creepy, and she's going to walk back over to the stable ground.
Okay.
But at least we know where they're coming from.
There are just a few more bedrooms up here to explore. You head into the next area and you see a room with a closed door. It appears to be locked. And a key on the ground outside of it.
Well, that's convenient.
And yet I don't like it.
Agreed. It's a bit too convenient. There's either something in there they don't want getting out, or something we don't want to deal with.
Gwillian just looks over at Jaffer. Trying not to be obvious.
It's a room that's like attached to the bedroom.
No, this is in the hallway. So as you went down the hallway to the next bedroom, there's a key laying on the floor right in front of a door that is locked.
Could also have been dropped, maybe. I don't know. Found by one of the people that was taken care of. They dropped it on the way out.
I mean, it's possible, but Crackers, if you don't mind, that window was open back there. Do you want to fly out and go around? If it's a room that opens all the way to the outside, there might be a window that you could look in and see if there's anything in there.
Yeah, I suppose. I shall return in a moment, and I shall do as she says.
All right. So you fly over to the window and look into a very dirty, grimy glass. And you can see in the center of the room some broken furniture. And then tossed off to one side appears to be a man, bound and gagged, clad only in his undergarments, who seems to have no weapons or equipment on him at all.
Is the window for this room open?
No, it is shut.
Then I shall fly back and rejoin the group.
I don't know how I feel about that parrot. I really don't know how. Oh, hey, Crackers.
Hi. So, beyond this door, there appears to be a prisoner, a gentleman in a state of undress and bound up. I believe he should need some rescuing.
Well, it sounds like a plan then. And Coral's gonna reach. As soon as he said prisoner, Coral started reaching down for the key to open the door.
And it's someone to back up the stories of what they're doing. Not that there's any reason why we'd be lying, but
Unlock
so
door.
Right. So the door is unlocked. You open it and you see this man bound and gagged. He looks hurt, tired, dirty. You don't know how long he's been up here. But he is not in good shape.
Does he look like a local? Anyone they'd recognize?
He doesn't look like anybody you know. He does appear to be breathing, though.
Well, that's good at least. Does the floor look stable?
The floor looks stable enough.
Is there anything around him or just general furniture?
Just general broken furniture, like maybe he was trying to put up a fight.
Right, well, take out the gag first.
As you take off the gag, his eyes flutter open. Where am I?
In a really, really old beat-up house. What's your name? And how did you get here?
My name is Ned. I was coming up to Saltmarsh from Seaton, and I stopped. I was hungry and needed shelter, and this house looked like it was open, and so I came in and I was jumped. I was just trying to find a place to sleep. Oh, my head.
Do you know how long you've been here?
I don't.
Do you know what
day?
Do you know what day it was when you were traveling here?
Yeah. He gives yesterday's date.
Well, good thing we found you when we did then.
Good thing we checked upstairs.
Aye, if we
Yes.
just left.
Jeffrey pulls some rations and begins to feed him.
Oh, thank you.
Go and I'll start to untie if that hasn't been done.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I will look around for his pants.
You do not see anything else in this room. If you choose to, you have several other rooms to explore as well.
I will go searching for pants.
All right. You find one more decrepit bedroom and then another decrepit bedroom, but in this decrepit bedroom there is pants and several other belongings.
I shall grab the pants with my beak and slowly drag them back to the room with the gentleman.
He is very grateful as Ned pulls on pants. Where did you find these?
Yeah, a couple of rooms down that way.
Oh, you talk. Okay.
Yes, I talk.
Is that your stuff then?
Yes, these are mine.
All right, you stay there. You need to sit. I'm sure you're aching all over. Crackers, you want to show me where it is, and I'll help you carry it.
All right. And I lead Coral to the room.
Right. So you manage to find a single dagger, a pack devoid of any rations or water at this point, and his clothes.
Okay. Grab it and bring it back to him.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
Is that all the bedrooms up here now?
That is all of the bedrooms.
While they were gone, Jeffrey was talking to him about. So, do you do everything on your ship? What specifically do you are you best with when seafaring?
I'm not a seafarer. I'm not a ship
Oh.
person. I heard that they were opening up a mine, and I thought it would be a good opportunity for some adventuring. And yeah, I thought that would be a good plan. What are you guys all doing in here?
Searching for missing people. And we found one.
Yeah.
Oh,
We found one alive. It's you. Congratulations. You're the only one.
Yay.
okay. Well, then let's go. Let's get out of this place. It's creepy, and I don't like it.
Yes,
That's fair.
we were planning on doing that soon anyway.
Right.
You might want your shoes first. And she
Yeah.
puts his things down next to him.
And what is your name, friend?
My name is Ned. Ned
Ned,
Shakeshaft.
Yes. Shake Shaft.
Yes.
I dig it.
Sounds like a piece of exercise equipment.
Sure, that.
That time I was not thinking the same thing.
Great minds think alike, Fortune. So, have we looked at every single area on this?
Yes.
Okay. From the outside, did it seem like there was 3 levels to this place?
One of them is a cellar, so it seemed like there were like 2 levels.
Okay. I just mean like if there was like an attic space that we hadn't seen yet.
There might be, but you haven't seen any stairs to it.
I knock on all the walls. I just go around just begin knocking on all the walls.
No, doesn't seem to be anything else here.
It's clear. Don't worry.
All right.
Great. Does that mean I can go home now?
That's the plan. Do we want to go back down to the boat then? See how Doll's doing loading it up?
What boat?
It's a very long story.
Don't worry about it.
I mean, Ned could just walk. He doesn't have to go on our boat. You just walk out.
I mean, that's true. Do you know your way from here to Saltmarsh? It's hard to miss, but do you know your way?
Yeah, but I mean, maybe I'd feel better if you guys escorted me. It might be nicer. I mean, if you don't mind. I'm sure your
Okay.
boat will be here if you don't mind. I don't really want to be on a boat. I'm kind of afraid of the water. Would you mind walking me back to town?
How about Jaffa? You go with the boat, and the rest of us will take this gentleman back to town.
That's a good idea.
I'm sure Dal can row.
Yes, and we'll leave little Q tied up in the basement until we fetch the town guard.
There's
Good
a
idea.
basement?
You don't
Don't
need to worry
worry
about
about
that.
it.
And what all have you found in this house?
Dead things.
Lots of
Or
dead
things that were dead after we got there.
Yes. Most things were dead after we got there.
What's going on?
It's a very long story.
Very
You-
long.
He fell into the laps of a few smugglers who didn't think much of smuggling people as well. That's the short version.
I don't think we should call that smuggling, but that's another story entirely.
Slavery then. Slavers. Piracy.
That's that
Any.
term. Slavery.
Slavery. Piracy is different.
Aye.
Yes.
They're stealing and taking things that don't belong to you, and they're selling actual people. I feel like these are very different things.
Yeah, definitely different degree. Sure.
That's a fair point.
So I'm going by myself with Del. Okay. Yeah.
I'll come along. I'd prefer
Oh.
the water.
Technically, I do as well, but I mean,
We can't all go on the
I-
boat. That's
I don't have to go on the boat. I can swim underneath it.
Me too, but I don't want to.
Same.
I like the water. I can. It's all right. I'll walk. I'm the local, so I know the way back really well, and I know the guards. It's not a problem.
As you are all discussing this, Ned is getting on his things, getting himself situated. Are you guys turning to head out the door? As you turn to head up the door, you hear 3 sharp whistle blasts behind you as you turn, and Ned has a whistle in his mouth that he's drawn from his pants, as well as a dagger, as he yells, "They know too much."
There's no one here to yell to, but good job, buddy.
Do you want me to stab him?
Yes, please.
I mean, you don't have to ask, just do it.
She's attacking, as she says.
Okay, go ahead and let's roll initiative.
Natural 20.
All right. Oh my god.
On initiative, of course.
Right? That's what it would be on.
9.
I got
Plus 3.
17.
Mine's a +4.
Okay, so you go first.
It's gonna be one of these days where none of the bad guys survive to get any attacks off, is what I'm hearing.
Okay, sorry. So I have 24. Gwilyn has 23.
12.
Jeffrey got a 9.
Got 17.
And Ned got an 11.
Okay. So
All right,
there's-
Coral.
What do I want to do to him?
The worst thing, we're about to leave.
Let's see. You said he's holding his dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have any other metal on him?
No. Well, the whistle that's in his mouth.
Oh, the whistles. Okay. Heat metal on the whistle.
Ow.
Yep.
Do I need to make a con save for anything?
Nope. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when I cast this spell.
Alrighty.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 points of fire damage. Didn't roll very well. To the mouth.
Ouch. Alrighty.
Oh, sorry. You have to roll a con save to see if you can drop it. That's what it is.
Oh, I
Otherwise, it's
rolled
stuck.
in 19.
Okay, so you can drop it.
He drops the whistle out of his mouth.
Let's see if you can still use that tongue of yours then.
All right, Gwilyn.
Natural 20 to attack him with her sword. Or we could just cut it out.
All right, roll your damage.
Man, Saltmarsh locals are vicious.
We are.
We're tough.
Well, you've only had to deal with a few things. Pirate princes up until recently, your entire life. It's a hard life on the sea.
That's a 12 for damage.
Okay.
And she will attack again. That's a synthetic 20.
Okay.
And 11 points.
Alrighty. Describe to us how you dispatch Ned Shakeshaft.
The first thing she would do is she would go for the arm that had the whistle, and with the second one, she would go for the tongue as she said she would. After she's kind of knocked him back. Or actually no, she'd do the tongue first and then she'd stab him, run him through with it.
Alright, and he crumples.
I did say I didn't like that key.
You did. But that's alright. You learned the hard way you don't mess with a Saltmarsh lass.
Hey!
I'm just wondering which of his friends stripped him naked and tied him up.
That's a
Maybe
good
it's a
question.
kink.
I mean, given the book,
I have a
I'm
book on
really
it, yeah.
not questioning that at this point.
That's a good point. Or he could have fought with one of them.
You never know. But again, it could still have been both. I'm really not questioning anything in here after that book.
That's fair enough. Well, he won't be needing this then. And she takes his dagger. She also wants to look at the whistle.
Okay.
Is it just a regular whistle?
Yeah, it's just a little signal whistle.
It's just a regular whistle. He must have thought there were still people here. He
Idiot.
definitely must have been unconscious for at least part of that.
Maybe they did fight then. Is there anything else in his pockets?
Nope.
I
Well,
fed him. Jeez.
right? What a waste.
It was a whole ration.
What a jerk.
I kick him.
Do it.
Oh man.
So the boat then, now we don't have to
Yeah.
split up and walk back.
Agreed.
Good. Didn't want to do that
Let's see.
anyway.
Let's see if Dal needs any help or if he's got everything loaded.
Alright, so you guys make your way back downstairs. You do anything as you walk through the cellar?
I wave at Q.
Okay.
Just wave. Smile and wave. Keep going.
Alright, so you guys smile and wave and keep going. Excellent. And then
I
you
wanna-
head on. Oh, go ahead.
There was fabric by the stairs next to the cellar that we came down, right?
And
Yes.
lemons, yeah.
Yes, there was.
Did those already get grabbed, or do we need to grab those still?
It looks like Dal has already taken care of them.
Awesome.
Perfect. I love him.
He's a very efficient worker.
He is. I'm very happy I hired him.
Alright, so you head on down, and Dal is putting the last bit of linen on the boat. Hi, boss! You're all loaded up!
Well done.
Time to head out to sea, yeah?
Jaffer turns to everyone else. Yeah.
I'd
to
say
go?
we're ready
Sounds
to
good to
go.
me.
Yes.
Are we gonna grab the man upstairs, or do we want to just leave him until later?
I was going to leave him, to be honest.
It's fine. You know, people can come and the guard can come and look and see.
Hey.
You know,
That's
They'll
fair.
find him eventually.
I'm all right with that.
do you want to take the villager body though?
If we
would you-
can, maybe. Or do you want to leave it here for the guard?
It might be better for the guard to just come and take it. That way, the things that are on our boat don't need to be seen by people.
That's fair. I mean, we're planning to, at least with the silks, because we know where they came from, we're planning to take them back, but we should probably talk to Anders and the other council members about what we found before we go sharing the goods around, just in case.
Good plan.
Looks like the linens and everything are stashed in closed areas, so they will not be obvious as you enter town.
Good work, Dal.
Thanks.
Good job.
So you guys hop on the little boat, and you are rowed by Dal back to Saltmarsh. Once you're out in the open water, he pops up the mast and unfurls the sail, and you guys come cruising in to town just around sunset. Guys hook up to the dock very easily, and you know where to find everybody should you need to. What do you guys do next?
Does the ship have like a living quarter on it, or is it like too small for that?
It's a little too small for living quarters.
I tell Dao to stay vigilant, just in case I need to sail out again.
Aye, Captain.
And think about a name for the ship.
You got it.
To be approved later.
Aye.
Yeah, don't write on the ship. Just think about it.
Just think.
Can do.
And who are we going to
So-
first?
But we could. It's a
Well,
little late. Let's get a note tonight, and then have them call a meeting tomorrow.
Good idea.
I mean, we
Can
could,
do
but then
that.
we've got to find somewhere to store all these goods. Anders will be
Just-
awake.
That's true.
We could let Gillen know and let him take his own things back.
Aye. Anders and Gillen might be the best ones to talk to. Anders because he's technically the one that hired us, and Gillen because, well, some of it is.
Start with Anders then. Maybe send a message to Gillen, make sure he's up. He probably is. Well, I should say not busy.
You know that this time of night, the council has not yet left the council chambers. They're probably all still in the chambers if need be. It's
Okay.
getting on towards dusk, but it's not closing time just yet.
Council chambers then?
Aye.
Alright.
That's the best plan.
Don't let
So you-
anyone on the ship, Dal, except us. Or people we approve while we're here.
Got it. Don't let anybody on the ship, including you. Got it.
No, except for us. We're allowed on the ship. You're allowed on the ship. People we tell you are allowed on the ship are allowed the ship. No one else is.
I give him his weapons back.
Ooh, okay. So let's go. And he speaks like he's gonna leave with you.
I feel like this became complicated. It's like having a dog.
Dal, you need to stay and guard the ship like you did the goods.
Oh! Okay.
Preferably
do that.
better than you did the goods.
No, I guarded them really, really well. I watched them the entire time.
Technically, he still is. I mean, to be fair.
Yes.
That's true. All right. We'll be back
I'm
in a
very
bit.
good at guarding.
I give him a gold piece. There's more where that comes from. You're hired by me
Okay.
now. So I admire, the humor, but you know where your loyalty lies, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Good boy.
All right, and you guys make your way off to the council chambers.
It's probably more money than he's ever seen in one place.
I was gonna make that remark, but he's very excited about this gold piece. Very excited. So you can hear inside the council. They're talking. It sounds jovial enough. There is a guard posted out front as you come up. Can I help you?
We need to speak to the council if you don't mind.
Aye. Regarding where they sent us.
Right. This tall woman looks down at that your party. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go check with them and see if they're free for conversation.
Of course.
And she pops her head in, and you can hear a little bit of muffled conversation. A few moments later, she comes back and says, "The council will see you. Please come on in." And she holds the door open for the 5 of you.
Thank you.
She nods. Inside, Gellin, Edda, Anders, and Manistrad, and I forget the other guy's name, are all there. I will look it up. And they look very interested in what you have to say.
All right, so we've got some good news and some bad news.
Well, Eleander, that's his name. Hopefully there's more good news than bad news.
Depends on what you think of the bad news.
All right.
She kind of looks at the group like, does anyone else want to speak?
We investigated an old alchemist's shack out on the cliffs and found what appears to be a storehouse for smugglers. We
And slavers.
dispatched, and yes, slavers as well. It appears that they were. We dispatched those that we found there, recovered a number of what we believe to be stolen goods, and have learned that there's apparently a ship coming in a couple of weeks' time. Someone that they've been doing business with, transporting stolen goods and slaves taken from this region.
And the slaves is the bad part. The bad news, I should say. Apparently, according to one of the ones we questioned, and we're fairly sure he's telling the truth, they've put at least 20 people or so on the ships to be sold as cargo over the last few months. And he says they've been in business for years, longer than he's been alive, and he looks to be about my age or so.
The council erupts with anger and just upset words. It's a torrent of shouting, not at each other, but just complete vocalized anger and frustration at the idea that this could be going on under their noses. There's a few faint accusations thrown that, maybe if there hadn't been a mine opened up, there wouldn't have been as many people coming in to let this fester and continue to grow. And maybe there was maybe an accusation thrown back that had people been taking better care of their citizens, there wouldn't have needed to be outside interference.
Coral whistles.
And it comes to quiet.
Sorry to barge in, but the more immediate concern might be the fact that the slaver ship's coming back in about 2 weeks, and we know how to signal them.
Right.
Also,
we will think
there's-
on this and develop a plan.
Also, you might want to go back and check because there's a body, and you're more than welcome to question or execute, as you see fit. The remaining person that's left there, he's tied up. We'd like the rope back if possible.
Yeah, he's tied to a table and gagged. Can't miss him.
No.
He's down in the cellar, though.
Eleander stands up and says, I will personally see that the guard handles this. Thank you very much for bringing it to our attention. You've
course.
done an excellent job. Gellin stands up next. Yes, I will. Anything I can do to help, Eleander. Let me ease the burden of the guard. I am happy to send some of my own private guards as well if needed to assist with the situation.
Oh, Gellin, you'll be most interested to know we found several bolts of your fine silks in the smuggling house.
Indeed, very recognizable ones.
Well, thank you for letting me know that my goods have been being taken. That's terribly alarming to hear.
They've been retrieved, though.
Thank you,
Yes.
Gwilyn. I appreciate that. Thank you, all of you. I very much appreciate your endeavors to bring those back to me. I will make sure that you are rewarded handsomely. I could not do anything but make sure you've been rewarded for your hard work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does Gellin seem nervous or like they perhaps know more than they are letting on about this situation?
Make an insight check.
Would I be able to, knowing him or no?
Sure.
Somewhat knowing.
A 12.
He seems to be incredibly genuine, and does not seem to be. It doesn't seem like he knows more than he's letting on. It seems like his concern and his gratitude is genuine.
15 for me.
Same.
I will say as well, just so you all know, we did question the one that's on the table tied up. It's how we know as much as we do. Some of it we pieced together, but the person who did the acquiring of the goods, unfortunately, met the wrong end of,
Unfortunately.
well, yeah, that's true. Put up a bit of a fight, and he's no longer living, so we can't question him directly.
Anders kind of sneers. I don't think there's anything unfortunate about that.
Well,
I
just
didn't do the
unfortunate.
typewriter.
Just unfortunate because we lost the information, that's all. I definitely don't begrudge him his death. Perfectly fine with that.
No one that is left remembered anything about who they were loading these ships for or anything.
Nor the name of the ships.
No, they just keep telling us the ship has a couple of masts, and that's very unhelpful. Oh, and Eleander, there's also a dead body upstairs in one of the bedrooms. It looks a bit beaten. He was definitely part of their group, but looks like he got in a fight with them or something.
I'll be sure to tell my men.
Oh, and she tells him whichever bedroom it is. Make sure your men don't try to walk across that floor. It's the absolute worst one up there, and they'll fall straight through and hurt themselves.
Yeah, they will.
Noted. Thank you. This is very good information. Gellin stands up and goes, yes, thank you. Here, let me give you your reward. And he hands you he reaches into his pocket and hands a sack to the group.
Thank you.
Where do you want us to bring the goods, Gellin?
If you don't mind, my mansion has a little bit of a its own little private docking area. I'm happy to have it docked there, and we can help unload. I appreciate you bringing this back to me. It is truly thankful. Thank you.
course.
And of course, you'll all be welcome to stay for dinner as an additional thank you. I couldn't dream of letting you go away hungry after your hard work.
Most generous.
Sounds
I appreciate
fantastic.
Excellent. Well, if you want, we're just wrapping up here. If you want to meet me back at the estate in, say, 15, 20 minutes.
We can do that. I've seen your dock, so I know how to get there.
Excellent. Thank you, Coral. Thank you, Gwilyn. Thank you, Crackers. Thank you, Jaffer. Thank you, Fortune. I'll see you shortly. And the council turns back to its business.
After we leave the room. So how much is in the sack?
Let's find out.
You find 200 gold pieces in the sack.
Oh, it's a tidy sum indeed.
What is it
Quite
that you
nice.
guys are doing?
I guess we'll get the ship and have it taken to Gellen's.
Yes.
All right, so you guys get everything all boarded up and everything was already boarded up. So you guys sail out to the little private dock that Gellin has, and he has several of his servants there to meet you, and they assist with taking all of the fabric away. And he offers, if you guys want, he's more than happy to find buyers for the brandy for you, and would give you the money on that.
I'm sure we'll find some of our own buyers. I really appreciate that.
Of course, no problem. Anything I can do for my favorite people, I appreciate it.
Favorite, that's nice.
That's very generous of you, Gellin, and I appreciate the offer.
It is indeed.
Well, please come on up and join us for dinner. My house is yours.
Who could resist with your chef?
That's true. Felisa's got a fine touch with everything.
That she does.
I would just be honored to stay around. I don't know much of this chef, but I'm not opposed to learning more.
Well, the pleasure and honor is mine. And you are all led upstairs to a very sumptuous meal. There are all sorts of delights. It's not quite as extravagant as the party was, but there are definite tastiness. There is something for everybody. It seems like he was paying attention to what you all enjoyed and partook of at the party, and there are similar things available. He is nothing if not a thorough host. You spend a very pleasant evening dining at Gellin Primewater's house. And he assures you all that he and the council will be meeting to come up with a plan before the ship arrives in 2 weeks. And that he appreciates your valor and your discretion on this matter until the council can come up with how they would like to proceed from here.
Of course.
Does anyone have anything they would like to ask Gellin or anything they'd like to do before we call it a night? Because it is 10:30.
Coral didn't give them the code.
Okay.
Unless they specifically asked for it.
They did not.
Okay. So she still has the code and the lantern and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Jeffrey will identify the scale mail that they had found.
And it is mariner's armor.
Right. And she will offer to the group her own scale mail. Or actually, she'll offer to the group if anyone wants this mariner's scale mail armor, with full knowledge that none of them want it.
You're welcome to it. You deserve that one.
Oh, thank you so much. And she'll take and give her other scale mail, or she'll leave other scale mail on the ship for Dahl if he needs it.
He would be very excited about it.
Whip your pen. Good job.
Do you ask Jaffer to look at the pipe you picked up?
I don't know if I would know if it was magic, because I don't really know magic.
Alrighty, so you just have a really cool pipe. Is all you know. Yes.
I might
Go ahead.
I might actually try to use it at some point later in the evening, but
Alright, we'll come back to that then. We'll come back to that. That might be how we close out tonight, is you trying out your pipe. Go ahead, girl.
I was just going to say that Coral would ask Gellin to help find buyers for the spell books, because neither Crackers nor Coral use spell books, and it didn't seem like anyone else did, unless Jaffer wants to take a look at them first.
No, it's fine.
Any objections, Crackers?
No.
Alrighty. So he promises to help you with a buyer for that as well. Alrighty. Anything else that anyone is doing before we hop over to Fortune?
Don't
Alrighty.
think so.
All right, Fortune, where are you when you decide to light this pipe?
probably on a balcony at Gellen's house, honestly, before we leave.
Excellent. All right, so as you are up on the balcony smoking from this pipe, it's a nice evening out. You can see the ocean through the haze of the pipe smoke. And though the ocean breeze is blowing gently, the pipe smoke does not dissipate. And as you continue to smoke, it gets thicker and thicker and begins to form a shape. Tell me about a time in Fortune's life where he was particularly impressive and heroic.
I think I'm thinking like walking across essentially like the mass like in a storm, like something really wild like that. Like he climbed up something, he probably should be dead, but he just barely, like, he kept his footing. He didn't and he's like, I just lost what I was gonna say, but basically yes, he was incredibly acrobatic and very, very lucky that he did not fall off of a mast in the middle of a storm at sea.
Okay. As you are smoking, the smoke begins to form in the mast of a ship, complete with sails, a thunderous cacophony of clouds overhead, and a figure of you seemingly dancing across the rigging as smoke light begins to billow from the lightning begins to billow from the smoke, reenacting this storm and your heroic deeds. And you watch for about 5 minutes as your theatrics and your achievements are played out in front of you in this pipe smoke before it drifts away on the evening breeze. And as it drifts away, you hear a slight clap from behind you as Gellin is there leaning up against the doorframe. Well, that was certainly impressive. And that is where we will end for the evening. Thank you, everybody, for coming out for our second episode of Saltmarsh. Appreciate it. We are going to go ahead and go over and check out Welcome Party RPG. They are doing a 50-hour charity drive to raise money for races right now. So we are going to go check them out, say hi, give them a huge Nerdsmith shout out. Stick around, say hello, please. We appreciate it. And as always, we really appreciate you guys coming out and supporting us. We will be back next week, and we will get on to the second part of Saltmarsh. Thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate it. So, however you spend your long weekend, carry on, you funky little tieflings.